Hi everyone, I'm Arya Madhani. I'm ambassador for SCC Online and EBC for Government Law College. So what I'm going to do today is basically run you through the legal research process through SCC Online. What happens is that initially people find it very intimidating to use such websites, and since this is your first year, it'll be a strange experience given that you're not familiar with what exactly legal research is like and what exactly it entails. So I think SCC Online is extremely accessible and it's extremely easy to understand on its own. But this sort of training will help you get more comfortable with how things are on this website. So this is what the SCC Online dashboard looks like. I hope everyone can see my screen. So on the front, like the first page of your website, you'll have three sections. The bottommost section over here is the links. So you have LawNet, which is a similar sort of research website for Singapore. You have Hein Online. You have the SCC Online blog, which is freely accessible, and you can you can read your law news and your law school news on SCC Online blog. You can stay up to date with all of that. You have EBC Learning and EBC Web Store, which is a part of our EBC publishing, and you can have books and other learning lectures available here. And then you have the SCC Online store in case you want to purchase something through SCC Online. I'm not going to go into the details of all of these. I'll directly start off with what My Library and Research Plus are about, all right? So My Library is like your basic virtual library that you would have in a law school, except it's virtual. So over here, firstly, give me a second. Yeah. So over here, these red boxes are basically not your classic, like your way to research, but they are very, very resourceful in a way to say that, you want to directly, quickly access certain statutes or certain articles. You can easily access this. You also have this moot court resources button here, which helps you access the older versions of other moots that have taken place all over the country, even internationally. So I'll start off with moot court resources. What basically entails over here, it's pretty simple. You just have a bunch of moots, their names, and then you have versions of them. So the AL National Moot, you have the 10th National Moot, you have their problem available over here. So in case you're going to take part in the 11th version, you can access the moot proposition over here, right? In order to go back to the dashboard, you simply just need to click this button here, and you can go back to Browse Treaties now. So what Browse Treaties entails is bilateral treaties and multilateral treaties, right? So bilateral treaties are between like any two countries. So now you have everything sorted alphabetically. So if it's, let's say, about aviation or agriculture, like over here, you can access all of them here, right? So you have the agricultural cooperation between India and Suriname, and then over here you can have like the entire copy right in front of you. So this is especially useful if you're doing moots related to certain topics like this, right? So if you're, let's say, doing a moot on competition law or something like that, you can easily find like treaties related to that over here. You can find stuff related to, let's say, marine stuff. So okay, over here you'll have like everything sorted for you, like in a general manner. The same is for the multilateral treaties. It's not very different. You'll have it sorted in the alphabetical order, and then you can run your search according to what you require. You have secondary material, which is basically material like bills in the parliament, or you have constitutional documents. Yeah, so all of these things are extremely easily available to you. So certain things like this you won't have in like your it's not law yet, so you won't have them as judgments or anything, but you still want to read a bill, or you want to read the amendment of a bill, like the Aadhaar and other laws amendment bill. You can easily access all of these things here. They're sorted year wise, so you can just see. And there's also like past Lok Sabha bills, so past Rajya Sabha bills. So this category is made in such a manner that you can find them in a much more accessible manner rather than going through the research process and having to look for it over there. This is far quicker than the research process. Then you have browse articles. I'll just quickly run you through all of these. Over here, you have law journals and you have blogs and reports that other schools have done. So yeah, so then you have like a legal law journal, you have the Asian Journal of Air and Space Law. Similarly, you have GNLU's Journal on International Trade and Competition. So all of these are journals by other organizations or other schools, law schools, and you have blogs that are like famous and have so we have the SCC Online blog over here, and you have the reports. So all of these are not obviously all the journals that exist, but this compilation is very, very fruitful in your and like will help you a lot in your research. And all of these reports are also not all the reports, but like it's still, you know, the library is still getting built up. You have acts and rules, so these are like extremely accessible. You don't need to go and, you know, type the name of the law. You just can literally find all of the, you have different countries especially, so you have central acts and laws, rules. You have everything sorted alphabetically. You don't need to run around and see if there is what is the latest version of any act that's come out, or what is the latest version of any other rule that come out, notification. So all of this is just easily accessible over here. And sometimes it becomes really confusing because you think that you have the latest version of an act with you, but you actually don't. So it becomes extremely confusing for you to what to rely on, and there are changes that are made. So this sort of, it's very reliable when it comes to finding the latest version of anything. You have you can find judgments by courts over here. So these are not all judgments, but like you have mainly the important ones here. So the Supreme Court from 2020 to 2021, in the past year, 2 years, what you have is everything is sorted date wise. So you don't need to, like, you know, sit and find which one was when, and you don't need to sit and look for it in detail. You have everything right in front of you in that manner. For browsing law reports also, you have a separate tab. So over here, like we saw earlier, all of these journals and law reports are easily accessible. And then you have the browse curated topics. Over here, these are still getting built up, but most of them are already done. So you have, let's say, intellectual property. For intellectual property, you can easily like access, you know, copyright or trademark or design or geographical indications. Any statutory law related to geographical indications is right here. So anything you need to, if you're doing a moot or you're, you know, doing something, a research related to this, you can easily access the entire statutory law right in front of you. You also have case laws that are significant. These are, of course, not all the case laws. Like there's just one that's significant enough to be here. So whatever is important, whatever you like would probably gain the most knowledge about for geographical indications is available over here. Given that, I'll go back to the main board. So this is what like the my library thing entails. I didn't go into too much detail. I just briefly ran you through what it is, because as you need, as your necessity requires, you can get used to it more. And of course, it's secondary material. It's not like your main research. And for your freshers moot that's coming up, I think the Research Plus is your main go-to place. I'll start with word search. It's the most important button personally that I feel like this website has. As you can see, there are a lot of like buttons on this page itself. There's all words over here. There's phrase, any words, Boolean. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run you through what exactly each little button means and how that can refine your search in such a manner that you don't end up using this like it's Google, right? It's not Google. That's the whole point. It's a curated website where like you can do legal research that's so precise, and you can like have such fruitful results that come out. You don't end up wasting too much time. So firstly, I'll just show you a basic difference between all words, phrase, and any words. Let's say I'm typing registration of trademarks and I'm running it through all words. Okay, so I'll find like case laws, and I'll find digest notes. I'll find any other acts related to registration of trademarks, all available over here. We'll just let the page load, I think. Yeah. So you will have 19,000 plus like results turning up over here. You have them divided into digest notes, judgments, acts, statutes, and then you have like bills in parliament, so on and so forth. And you have all these divisions, bifurcations done, and then you've told you what like comprises, like how many documents are there in these subdivisions. So if you want to only search for judgments, you can just click the only button that comes here, and the page will load to judgments. So you'll have 18,000 whatever judgments here. And if you want to only look for, let's say, Bombay High Court, you click the plus button here, you go to Bombay High Court, and then you click only for Bombay High Court. And then you have your 182 judgments related to registration of trademarks on Bombay High Court here. But like mainly what we're seeing is that if we click on the all results button, you have 19,000 plus cases over here, right? Now let me go back and run the same search again and do it through phrase. All right. So now what happens in phrase is I'll click phrase over here and then I'll run it through phrase. What happens is the entire phrase as a whole, if it is present on any document, it appears in that manner. So in that way, see, right here, it's highlighted in this particular article, registration of trademark is used as a phrase. It's not used as any of these words. So you will have a considerably lesser quantity of documents showing up. That's only 193. In a similar manner, if I go back and run my word search through any words, I think I'm going to get a large number of results now. So registration of trademarks, and I run it through any words. And the number will obviously considerably increase because now I'm any of these three words, registration of or trademarks, is available. So all of these kind of things usually work out when you're doing a very generic research and you're, let's say you're doing IP law itself. All right. And see, now I have a 44 lakh cases. So yeah, excuse my math. I'm very bad at reading numbers. But basically, you'll have like a very large number of results that end up showing. And that's because now I'm running it through a very generic search metric. But sometimes that's important because you need to do a very generic search sometimes. So like in case you're doing a research on IPR law, you're writing an essay or something of that sort, or a research paper, I think it's important that you include trademark, copyright, geographical indications, all of those things. So when you run all of them through this, you'll find documents on all of these things. So of course you can try out other examples when you just try to familiarize yourself with this website yourself. And that's one thing. Now the fourth one is the most curious one. It's Boolean, right? And you have this little note over here which says use and, not, or, and near, all capitals between words for Boolean search. So I'll just basically run you through what exactly this is, right? So now let's say there's a famous case on trademark, which is goodwill trademarks. So I'll just run this through and I'll show you what exactly Boolean means. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to search goodwill near trademarks, okay? And what I'm going to do is check over here what is Boolean near settings, right? So this is the near settings for Boolean here. And it near 10 means that goodwill and trademark will have like 10 words of a difference between them, and within these or within 10 words of a distance between each other. So you won't find goodwill and trademark on like different ends of the document, right? You can restrict how far goodwill and trademark should be from each other. So we'll just run this search quickly on Boolean, and you will notice how this like helps you research on things when you don't exactly know the wordings of certain sentences, but you know vague terms. So I know that goodwill exists, I know trademark exists, but I don't know exactly what that entire sentence is verbatim. So this will help me find those sentences. Over here, we have the WIPO case, which is Goodwill Industries International versus WIPO. So you have that, and then you have goodwill, title, etc. You have certain cases like this. So obviously it won't be precise, but you will find that your search is narrowed down a lot, especially in comparison to when you search just goodwill and trademarks. So this just narrows down everything to you, and it becomes very easy to find judgments that you're actually willing to. I'll show you another example with other words that are mentioned here. So now let's say you want to find act of God near breach of contract. Right? So now when you're doing that, let's restrict our difference of words to 3. And okay, let's try 5. I think that's easier to find. So you'll probably run a search which is much more narrowed down, and you will have far less judgments that you have to go through. Exactly, see 8. So your main idea, main focus on what exactly you're trying to achieve out of this research, if there's any proper legal sentence that you're looking for, or any of those things, then you can easily find it here. I can show you a couple of other examples so you can understand the other as well. Now, I'll show you what cancellation near appointment will give me. And then I will run you through another feature on search, which is extremely helpful. I think I misspelled cancellation. Sorry. Yeah. So we have 3,000 results over here. And then you can, like, let's say you want to find a temporary appointment or a casual one or ad hoc. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put ad hoc in these brackets here. And I'm going to put or between all of them, capital letters, all of them in capital letters. So it becomes easier to run this search. That's how Boolean works, right? So I'm doing a Boolean search here again. The moment I put two capital letters of the words that are given in the Boolean search manual thing, you end up automatically switching to Boolean. So over here, it ends up being a Boolean search by itself. And I will get documents which have cancellation or near appointment with casual or temporary or ad hoc given in these documents, right? So over here, I have only temporary and ad hoc. I don't have the word casual at all. So that's what I will get. I will get either 1 or 2 or 3 also, but it doesn't have to be restricted to all 3 in the same document. That's how I'm using your or. Now, sometimes I need to search something additionally with this. So I'm going to search, let's say, service, right? And I'm going to run the search service with this. But I don't want to include this search again. So I can simply just cancel it, and then I will run back on just cancellation near appointment with service as the keyword again. So I'll have documents with cancellation near appointment and service as well in the document. That's pretty simple for Boolean. I will run you through a couple of more examples for not and so on. Now let's say you're looking for a case with murder that's happened by knife, all right, but it shouldn't be through gun or pistol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly run this search like this: murder, not gun or pistol, and everything after not would be cancelled. But since I'm putting this in a bracket, now everything after the bracket ends will be considered in the search. So murder, which is not gun or pistol, and it's near knife. I'm going to change. Okay, this is back to 10, and Boolean automatically happened because I put these capital words that are specifically designed for Boolean. So it automatically switches to Boolean, and then I'm going to run this search. So you don't need to click on Boolean. It just becomes easy for you because the search engine just recognizes that you want to run a Boolean search. And then you have 30 judgments, 42 results for this. And then you can easily find out what judgments you want. So if you want let's say a Supreme Court judgment, you can just restrict your search to only Supreme Court judgments. You have 4 judgments and you can find out basically what all of this is all about, right? And you can easily find what you need to through that. Now so I think I covered almost all of them except and, I think. And so I'll just go through this: culpable, homicide, and knowledge, right? And this will help me find judgments which have culpable, homicide, as well as knowledge in the same document. I can narrow down my research as usual. I can find acts and statutes related to the same. I can find a central act that's going to help me out with my research in a similar manner. Now, you have a bunch of other ways you can make this research much faster, right? I'm going to start with the last one on this line over here. You have words and phrases. Okay, so now what exactly words and phrases is very simple. In case you have a doubt when you're reading through a legal document and you're not able to understand certain terms, obviously in the initial stage of a research, you have a lot of unfamiliar words that will come. You have a lot of Latin words. So let me just run through the most like easy ones. So you have damnum sine injuria, and you can just ask them to show you what the meaning is, and then you also give you accompanied with the meaning, which is damage without infringement of a legal right. That's what damnum sine injuria means. And according to that, along with that, they will give you a judgment with the citation of the judgment, which is this these numbers and these letters that you can see highlighted in blue. That's the citation of the judgment, which is Interglobe Aviation Limited versus N Sachidanand. Okay, and this citation number is extremely important because a lot of legal journals and law reports, all of these, or like all of them, they differentiate and they sort their judgments through these codes, which is the legal citation. So these legal citations end up being very important to you in your research process. And I will get to how to like research through citation later on. But if I click on this citation highlighted here, I will be able to see the aviation, what was it? Yeah, the Interglobe Aviation. Just give me a second. Yeah. So that's the entire judgment here. Interglobe Aviation Limited, which is the appellant, and the and Sachidanand, which is who is the respondent. And you have the entire judgment in front of you. What exactly over here is that the bench was R.V. Ravindran and A.K. Patnaik. Okay, both of them were the justices on the bench. The reason R.V. Ravindran is highlighted is because Justice R.V. Ravindran is the author of this judgment, right? So if you click on R.V. Ravindran over here, Justice R.V. Ravindran has granted leave, and you will find the entire judgment after that. But before that, all of these things are the summary, the synopsis of what basically entails in the judgment. Things that are highlighted in bold are just technical terms that are irrelevant, and you might just want to skim through it before you read the entire judgment. Makes your reading process very easy. So in case there are keywords that you're looking for and they are present in the synopsis or the summary, it becomes easier for you to then invest time in reading the rest of the judgment as well. And you have like, it's bifurcated into parts. So if you need to go to a relevant part also, you can just click on the highlighted bit. If this is a relevant part to you, click on para 69, you'll be automatically directed to para 69 over here. And if para 69 is something you want to copy, then there is this copy pad, paper pad icon over here. You just click on it. It'll show a green icon, which means copied, and then you go to your Word document or any other document you want to paste it on, and then you can just directly paste it. It's on your copy. So that's what this is about. I'll give you another example of a non-Latin maxim, which is, let's say, trademark, since we were discussing it. And then I'll click on show. Now over here, I'll find other cases where such definitions have been applied or used or even maybe, made. And I'll also find stuff like other judgments briefly summarized over here. So you can like read through in detail what exactly, as per how you want to use the definition of trademark in your research, and try to like find out which one is best suited for you. So that's about this topic. I'll move on to the next one, which is find by topic. This is a very straightforward and I would say one of the most easily accessible ones. So of course, after the search one, this is super easy to understand. You want to find something on, let's say, environment law, here. So you click on the environment law plus sign, and you have all these acts and statutes related to environment law open right in front of you. So now I want to read the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. I double click on it, or I can just press go, and SCC Online will take me to the page where I can read the entire act. So I have digest notes only sorted over here because that was my preferred search earlier on. But I can go back. I can click on search everywhere over here. Right? Previously, it was on search and digest notes. Okay, that was my preferred search earlier, so it left it there. But if you click on search everywhere and you go back to, let's say, environment law again, here, and you click on air prevention and control of pollution. and you'll be able to see that all the bifurcations that were previously present are here. So now you can access judgments as well, and they have risen. So it was previously 100 and something, now it's 1,800 and something. So obviously the research is different depending on what you're exactly trying to find. You can easily curate your search in that manner. Next, we'll go to find by party name. In find by party name, so now this is two different bifurcations. The first one is find, literally search by party name, and over here you'll have to know which court it is in. In case you don't know which court it is, sweat not. So like you have all of these jurisdictions mentioned over here, but in case you don't know, you just simply click on all jurisdiction and you're sorted. You can type, let's say I want to find the AK Gopalan versus State of Madras judgment, and I can just type Gopalan and Madras. Don't type versus or V dot in between the two party names, because then your search will get affected. It might not show the results also. So just type Gopalan and State of Madras, and I'll try to look for the case. Now this is the one I was looking for, which is AK Gopalan versus State of Madras, and I have it right in front of me. I can double click on it, or I can just simply click go, and I'll have the judgment in front of me. There's another way you can do this. So you have the famous adultery law case that was like, I think 3 years ago, where the adultery law was removed. So adultery law case, and so these are like famous cases, especially. That doesn't comprise of all cases, but all the famous ones. So now you have the Joseph Shine. Okay, so most of us are not familiar with the party names in such cases, because you hear them through media. So you're aware of the media name, but you're not aware of what the actual case is called. So you have it here, and you can obviously double click or click go and find it. Another example would be the Sabarimala case, which is obviously very famous, but we might not know the actual parties over here. So, and then you have over here, you have the, so in Indian Young Lawyers Association, which is the Sabarimala Temple versus State of Kerala. And you can easily access this judgment. You just have to click go, and it'll be right in front of you. Yeah, so the Supreme Court judgment, which was decided in 2018, and it's just one judgment. The rest of them are all digest notes, and digest notes are like going to be like, bits and pieces of the judgment that are relevant, that have been cited over here, and you can read through them in brief and understand them. Where the main judgment is here, it says J over here, and it says 5 over here because the strength of the bench, the quorum, is 5. So there were 5 judges involved in this. Right, so we don't need to wait for that to load. We can, and we can now move on to find by citation. Now find by citation is something that you will require in more advanced situations. Like say, for example, during an internship, you have the citation number of a case. You don't know what that case is about. You need to research that case. So let's take, for example, through SCC, the SCC, you to first select which journal you want to. So we're going to stick to SCC Online itself. And I have a couple of them noted down. So I'm just going to write them down. And what you have to do is you just have to simply write down the numbers that you get and run it through the search. And this is going to be, I think, the Kunj Bihari Mishra one. Yeah, so this Punjab National Bank versus Kunj Bihari Mishra. And you have the judgment right in front of you. And like this makes it super easy, because then if you need to find the exact judgment, it's not a later judgment or the previous one of the same parties and exact same copy again, it becomes easier for you to access that. In the same manner over here, the bench, the names of the justices are written here, and then the one who has authored the judgment is highlighted. And you can find other details in manner. I'll give another example of find by citation to another journal. Let's take something simple. All India Reporter. I think All India Reporter. Okay, let's take All India Reporter Bombay, since that's something everyone will be familiar with. Yeah, All India Reporter, Bombay, here. So you can see AIR Bomb, both of these terms are something that's unique to AIR Bombay, All India Reporter, Bombay's law reports. So now I'm gonna go through 1952 and serial number will be 468. These are things that I pulled out previously, so it becomes easier for me to show what exactly citation is and how it works. And then you have the State of Bombay versus Lakshmidas Ranchod Das, and you have the entire judgment right in front of you. You don't need to go and sort through other searches. You have it through citation number itself. So it becomes really easy and convenient in that manner. Then you have the find case law by section. And let's say I'm doing a search on Hindu Successions Act over here, like I previously did. And I want to do a specific curated search on class 1 heirs. All right, I want to know what exactly the statutory law for class 1 heirs is. So I'll just have to find over here distribution of property among heirs in the class 1 of the schedule. And I can click on it, click go, and I'll have the statutory law in front of me. This is easier when you're trying to look for something specific related to a specific act. You can also find judgments related to the same thing that you search through citation, search through case law by section. So in the judgment section, you can find judgments in high courts over here. And all of these, they are mostly the ones that are relevant to this particular section itself. So section 10 of the Hindu Successions Act of 1956 has total of 24 judgments all over the country, right? And in that similar manner, now, let's say I want to look for something only related to Delhi High Court and judgments under section 10, under this act, only through Delhi High Court, I can just look through like 4 of them. This makes your search much more narrowed down and makes it like easier for you to find what you actually need. It just pinpoints you to the right direction. So that's about it. I'll just go back to the main page in case you all want to take a look and like see which parts you all didn't understand or something you need me to run through again. And if you have any other questions, I'm ready to answer those as well. I think Ria said she'll help me run through that.
So I'll just read all questions one by one.
Okay.
You can answer them. The first question is that she is able to do this because she's a member. How will we do this for the intras? So GLC has SCC Online, but this is in the physical library. Abhishek, do they have access to SCC Online right now? Has the library given them online access, remote access?
I think the library gave us access last year during the lockdown. So I'll just speak to them again if they still haven't given it to y'all. And then like, yeah, y'all can access this website. I'll try to do it before your freshers move, so it becomes easier for you to do your research. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they have given remote access to us last year, so they can give it to us this year as well. I don't understand why they haven't given the mail yet, but I'll speak to them.
Okay, thank you. Then the next one is, what is the difference between any word search and all word search?
All right, so I'll just show it to you once again. In all word search, when I'm typing, I'll show you the same example, registration of trademarks. All right, so I'm running it through all word search. Now what happens over here is that all of these words, registration of and trademarks, will be present in the same document, right? So over here, I will have the word registration, trademarks, and of all over the document. When I go back and I search through any words, what happens is that any of these 3 words is present. So it's not necessary that registration of trademarks. Yeah, so it took an unreasonably long amount of time because the number of cases that end up coming for any search is really large. So unless and until absolutely necessary, when you're doing an extremely general research, I don't see the point. So over here, you'll see a large number of judgments. And over here, it's not necessary that you'll find the word trademark, registration, and of over here. So over here, in this particular document that I have open here, the word trademarks I don't think it's there. It's not there. because you're searching any of these three words, right? So registration or off or trademark. So their search becomes extremely vast, and you're looking for any of these words to be there in any of the documents that they have available. That's the difference. Yeah.
The next one is, are bare acts available on SCC?
Yeah, they are available. So you can directly search through which section you want directly over here, find by case law section, or you can look through your curated topics and find the bare act. So I showed you an example over here. If I want to, let's say, find the trademark, a statutory law related to trademark, I can simply click on IP law section. I can go to the copyright. Oh, sorry, my bad. I can go to the trademark section. And then I'll have the statutory law, which is basically the bare act. So they have the Trademarks Act of 1999 right in front of me. And you can download this. You can just save it over here. There's the save button, and it will save the entire document for you on your laptop or on your PC, anything. You can access this on your phone also. If you have the SCC Online app on your phone, you can access these things on your phone as well. So you can do that. Yeah, and then you have the same thing available in browse acts and rules also. So there is 3 ways you can access your bare acts that I just showed you. Your find by case law section when you want a particular section from your bare act, your browse curated topics, and your browse acts and rules.
Yeah, so the next question is, are overturned judgments also present? And
Yeah.
are cases which are on their first appeal present with the first judgment?
Yeah, so you'll be able to find, you'll be able to curate your search in that manner. What happens is that there are certain times where when judgments are overruled, and you will be able to access. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to search. If you want to find out whether this judgment has been overruled or not, you have to scroll to the bottom of the page, and at the bottom of the page it'll be mentioned whether it's overruled or if there is another judgment where the same judgment has been used as a citation within that judgment. So it's been used as a submission within the court. So all of that is available at the bottom of all the judgments. In case there is nothing at the bottom of the judgment, it means that it's not like been overruled or been used somewhere else. Is that it, Ria?
Yeah, the next question is the same one. How do we know if a particular judgment is overturned? You already answered that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess there are no other questions.
All right, perfect. If they still have any other questions, they can run them through to me, or like through MCA or anything like that.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Arya.
Thank you. I'm wishing all of you luck for your freshers moot. By the way, I'll try to get access for SCC Online before your moot, so you all can use it to do your research. Thank you. All the best.
Arya, are you still there?
Yes, Ria, tell me.
Just before you leave, someone's asking, do we have EBC subscription as well?
Yeah, so we're pushing for EBC subscription this year. So hopefully we'll have EBC subscription this year. I will announce this on all the batch groups once we are successful. But we don't have it yet, but I'm pushing for it.
College have it in general?
No, college doesn't have it. I'm pushing for college only. I've written them a few mails and I'll follow up with them. So we're working on it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And someone else has asked, can we access EPW and other journals?
EPW specifically isn't there, but if you have any other journals in mind and you need access to that, just let me know. I can like search them through and let you know if it's available or not. EPW specifically isn't there.
And someone else is asking, but we still need to buy books from EBC, right? Even if we have a subscription?
No, you don't. If you have a subscription for EBC, you have all the books freely available on EBC Reader.
Okay.
You have the e-copies, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thanks, Arya. Thank you.
No problem.